Hi, what's up guys, it's Evan here, and in today's video, this will be part 2 of my 6x6 tutorial. If you guys haven't checked out part 1, I suggest go checking that out first, and I'm just going to do edge pairing on this puzzle. But if it depends, if edge pairing on this puzzle takes a little, pretty long, I'll save the 3x3 stage for the final part. But if it doesn't take that long, I will do everything all in one video. But I might split it into 3 just to shorten it up for you guys. So the second step on a 6x6 is edge pairing. So what you want to do is try to pair up 4 of these edge pieces. So I'm just going to pick an edge piece. And also, I suggest learning how to edge pair on a 5x5 before learning the 6x6. Edge pairing on the 6x6. So I'm going to pick an edge. So I have this white and green piece. And I have a white and green piece here. So if you can tell, they're opposite colors. So like if they're on the same face and their like colors are different, then you move it over, you know that they're paired up correctly. So now we need to try to find the other 2 pieces and try to put them all into these 2 spots. But if they're together, you can just put them in a separate spot. So I'm just going to look around the puzzle, and here they are. So if these 2 are down here and they're like they're kind of like making a line with each other with their faces. I'm going to try to make, with these 4 centers, try to pair the edges. Kind of put them like along this line. That's how I kind of think about it. So if I want to try to put them all in the same face, I'm going to move this piece down. And now I am ready to start edging each of my pieces. So now we need to make sure if these pieces go in the right spot. This is in the top, so top, and this piece is also in the top. So if I move it over, that's not correct. And now let's try this piece. That's not correct either because it's flipped. So if you have a case where one of the pieces is incorrect, kind of like this, just do the algorithm to flip the edges. R, F, U, F prime, I meant. R prime, F. R, F prime, U, R prime, F. I'm just got that confused. I'm sorry. So now now these pieces are flipped, and now let's try inserting this edge piece. That's correct. So now let's try this piece. So this piece is correct. So now I'm just going to move it up to the top layer, move the pair out of the way, and move that side back down, and I'm going to fix my centers. So I'm just going to pick, let's do a set with no matching piece. I'm going to pick another edge. Let's do this one. Let's do red and green. So let's try to find another red and green edge piece. There's one right here. I'm going to put it next to the other piece. So like one's here, one's here. Let's try to figure out where the other 2 pieces are. Okay, so the 2 pieces, there's one here and one here. So actually what you want to do is for these last 2 layers, instead of actually inserting like one at a time, like you insert one here and you insert another one here, the problem is with doing that is that you'll ruin another edge piece. So what you want to do instead is actually you want to have one on the top and one on the bottom. So like kind of like this. So you kind of have them opposite, but not really. So like there's one edge piece here, one edge piece here. So what you want to do is kind of put them like when you're looking at this face to insert these last 2 edges, what you want to do is kind of put the pieces actually on like the top and bottom part right here on any given layer or any given side, I meant. So because if you kind of put them on top and bottom, you can know that there's one edge piece on each, this layer right here. So, like, if you can just kind of mess around with it to kind of get it into this spot if you have no matching pieces together. Like, what I mean by matching pieces is, like, having these 2 pieces, having, like, a couple pieces matched together. So, kind of just put them, like in this position where you have them across from each other, kind of, like, up and down. And now you can have them horizontally, and you can start putting in your edge pieces. So let's just kind of see. I'm just going to pick an edge piece to start with. I'm going to pick this one. So I'm just going to I'm going to look at each of the pieces and see if they match up. All I know is that this one actually does not match because they're horizontal to each other and they have the same color. So you kind of have to flip it. So that piece is not right. So we'll flip that later. Let's just before you like focus on like any piece, I suggest kind of figure out like which pieces go with like which piece, like which ones match up. And then you can try flipping the pieces like at the end of each pair. So I'm going to pick this red and green piece. So I have a red and green edge piece here. I'm just going to move that over and I noticed that they match up. I have another piece here, so I'm going to move that top piece over, and that piece matches. Don't worry about the center, we'll fix that later. So let's kind of see where the other piece is. The other piece is right here, but if I move it down, it actually doesn't match. So what I need to do is flip the edges. So I'll do R, F prime, U, R prime, F. And now you see that the piece is flipped, and you can just insert it, just like that. And now you can just move it up to the top layer, move it over with U or U prime, or move that side back down. And now you can fix your centers. Let's do another edge piece. Let's do this one. Let's do white and blue. So I actually already have an edge piece right here, but the problem is it's flipped around, so that's not correct. So I have two pieces together on one face. I have one here, and I have a piece here. So all the pieces are technically already good. So I know this piece is not correct because it's flipped around. Let's try this top blue piece right here. That piece is right. So I have a piece here. I'm going to try to replace it with this and see if it's correct. Yes, it's correct. So let's try to see. I need to try to flip this piece around. I'm going to do the edge flipping algorithm, which is R, F prime, U, R prime, F. And now I'm going to try to see if I can move that piece in. And yes, I can. It's in the right spot. So this step is actually very, very repetitive on just flipping edges. So now, if you have a third piece, what you want to do is kind of replace it with a broken pair. What I mean by a broken pair is like the pieces do, like there's not a complete set of matching edges. Like this one is complete because they all match. This one does not. So I'm just gonna move this piece up, over, back down, and I'm gonna fix the centers. So we got 3 of the edge pairs done. Now let's do another one. I'm gonna do this one with yellow and orange. So I have one piece here. Let's try to figure out where another piece is. There's another piece right here, so I'm just going to move it down. And now they're on the same face. I need to try to get 2 more to put it on this edge of the face, and this edge of the face. Okay, so I noticed that they're across from each other. So we have this case where we have the pieces do not match with each other. So you have to try to put them one on each set of edges, like this, this, this. So I know I already have one here, and I have one here. That means I need to put them in these 2 spots. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move this edge piece to the top. Like I said with that up and down thing. You want to put one on the top, and then you want to put one of these other edges on the bottom. And now you can just do an F for F prime move to insert the edges. Now you can see there's one edge piece. There's at least 4 edge pieces are on these 4 faces. That's exactly what you want. So I'm going to pick an edge piece to start the kind of insert with. I'm going to pick this one. So let's just try to see. I'm going to try to insert from every angle. I know this one's not correct because it's across from each other. So that will kind of ruin the edge. So I have one up here. I'm going to try to insert this top one. So I'm going to try with this one first. That piece is correct. Now I'm just going to try to insert. Now this top piece over here. I'm going to try to insert that. And now that's correct. And I noticed this piece right here is not correct, so I need to flip it around. So I'm going to do R, F prime, U, R prime, F. So now I can see that this piece is flipped, and now I can insert it, and it's correct. So now I can just put it on the top and replace it with a not completed pair, move it up, I can move it over, and then back down. And after you finish an edge pair, I always suggest fixing your centers. So there are 4 of the pairs, and now let's try to do another one. So now that up and down case, once you kind of know how to insert it, it will make a lot more sense. So I'm going to pick another one. Let's do yellow and blue. So I have a yellow piece here and a blue piece here. So and I have another one here. Let's try to find another piece. There's one here, but I already have 2 in these 2 spots, and I know that there's no matches. So I need to do this top and bottom case. So so these 2 are already here. That means I needed these 2 pieces in either these set of spots or this set of spots. So I'm going to move it into the top or bottom. So I need to try to figure out where that other piece is though first. This one's here. This one's here. Okay, so here it is. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move this piece out of the way. So if you have a case where they're next to each other, kind of adjacent, what you want to do is kind of move this piece. I'm going to move this piece out of the way. and I'm going to move this piece down to the bottom. And now I can move this piece back over, and now you notice one is on the bottom, one's on the top, and you can now have one piece on every set of faces. That's kind of, so once you kind of notice how you like do this, it's not hard at all. So I'm going to pick an edge piece to insert. I'm going to pick this piece. And also, if you haven't seen my 5x5 tutorial or 4x4 tutorial, if you know that there's pieces like that kind of opposite colors facing towards you, like kind of these two have opposite colors, you know they're correct. And same with these two pieces. But if you see a piece that has the same colors facing towards you, they're incorrect. So that's kind of a good way to see if pieces are in the right spot or not. So I'm going to choose this piece to insert. So I'm going to start with this edge piece and move it over to this piece. And they match with each other. Now I'm going to try with this piece. And that piece matches. But now I need to try to figure out if this last piece does. And if I move it over, it does not match. So now I need to do that edge flipping algorithm again, which is R, F prime, U, R prime, F. And now you can insert it just like that. And all the edges are lined up. So you can just move it up, replace it with a broken pair. Replace another, do a couple of U moves to try to replace it with another broken pair. And now move it back down and fix your centers. So now we got at least nearly halfway done with the edge pairing. So what we can do next is just pick another edge pair. So I'm just going to pick another edge pair, and I'm going to do, let's say, yellow and green. This one right here. It really doesn't matter which pair you do. I mean, I just kind of pick around them. So, let's see. I'm going to do this one with yellow-green. So, yellow-green, I have a piece right here. Let's try to find another piece. Okay, so I have another piece here. So, I'm going to kind of move it over with this same face. So, now I need to try to find this last piece. Okay, so now we have that case, the top and bottom case. That's kind of what I call it. You can call it whatever you want. But that's kind of what I call it, just to kind of make sense to me. So, I have these two pieces on these two faces. Now I need to try to get the last piece on these two faces. And they're already in the right spot, because one's on the top over here and one's on the bottom. So I can just move them over. And now I notice that now if I just do an F move, they're now in the right spot. So now I'm just going to pick a piece to start with. I'm just going to pick this one. So I have a piece here, a piece here, a piece here, and a piece here. So if I notice that these two pieces have the same color, these pieces are not correct. Because that's why. But since these two pieces are opposite, these two pieces are right. I have a piece here. I'm going to try to move it over. This piece is correct, so I have 3 of them right, and I need 1 more. Now I need to find where the last piece is. The last piece is right here, so I'm going to flip these edges around. I'm going to do R, F prime, U, R prime, F, and now you can try to insert that bottom piece, and you see it's correct. So now I'm just going to replace this, I'm going to put this edge piece on the top layer by replacing it with a broken piece. I'm going to replace it with do a U prime move to replace it with another broken set, and now I fix my centers. So now we're about like halfway done with edge pairing, so now I'm going to try to pick another piece. So, let's see. So let's do an easy one. Let's do this one. So these two pieces are lined up. Let's do white and orange. And I have a piece. So I have 2 pieces here, a piece here, and I need to find the last piece. Okay, it's right here. So I'm just gonna move it down in a set of 3 faces. So that's it's kind of simple if you know how to solve a 5x5. That should be simple to you. So now I have a piece here, a piece here. I still need to find one other piece. There it is. Okay, so I know 2 pieces are here. Where's that other piece? There it is. So now I have 3 pieces lined up. These 2 pieces do not match each other because they have the same color. But these 3 pieces all match. They're opposite colors. But if I notice that this piece is on the bottom and we already have a piece here, I need to flip these pieces around. So I'm going to do R, F prime, U, R prime, F. Insert the piece. That's correct. So like I said on a 4x4, if you have 3 edge pieces that are completed, what you want to do is actually replace this set with another completed set, like this one. So I'm going to move this set up, replace it with this. I'm going to do a U move to kind of get this broken set like ready. I'm going to move this broken set down. And now you can just fix your centers. I did not mention this, I should have mentioned, but if you haven't seen my 4x4 or 5x5 tutorial, if you have a completed set of 4 edge pieces on the one of the layers, just flip the cube over and just do the same thing on the other side. So I have 5 edge pieces left to go, and now I'm gonna do this. So I have a edge piece here, and edge piece here. So I'm gonna do red and blue. There's an edge piece here, and I have one here. So I'm just going to move this piece down. Even though this other edge piece is ruined, so I'm just going to do a U prime move. And I'm going to move that piece down. And now I'm going to try to insert each of these pieces. But I noticed that these pieces are not correct. Because this piece already has its spot taken. And so is this piece has its spot taken. So I'm going to flip the pieces around. I'm going to do R, F prime, U, R prime, F. And now I'm going to try to insert it. I'm gonna try to insert one of these pieces. One of the pieces is correct. I'm gonna do the algorithm again. I'm actually gonna move this edge piece over. You actually cannot move the edge piece over. I did not mention that. You actually can't move it because if you move it over, your center will get destroyed. So what you want to do, I'm just gonna have this one remaining edge piece in front of me. I'm gonna do that algorithm one more time. R, F, U, R prime, F. And now, if I insert it, the piece will be right. And now I can just replace it with a broken pair, move it down, and now I have 4 pieces left. Actually, no, I have 5. So I'm just going to keep going with this. So you might also have pieces that eventually might get destroyed, so I'm just going to, like, for example, this white and blue got destroyed, and I just need to flip this around. This might happen sometimes, but just kind of like keep fixing the pieces. So now I have, so if you just check and see if you have 4 pieces correct on one side and 4 on the other side. But now we have 4 edge pieces left. But now once you get to the last 4 edges, you don't want to do like extra, like you want to use at least up to like 2 faces to move in edges. What I mean by like a face is like these, like a set of like 4 edge pieces. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So, like, I'm just trying to use these, like, 2 sets of 4 edge pieces. Like, these 2 sets, for example. So now, I'm going to just pick another edge piece. So, what you want to do is actually find a set of broken edge pieces that are not completed. Like this one. You want to try to find a side with non-completed edge pieces. So, like, this, I'm going to choose this one. Because this piece has a broken set. And just try to find a set with, like, some completed edge pieces. Because kind of, like, once you get to, like, 4 edge pairs left, just kind of insert the pieces, like, one at a time compared to, like, moving them, like, all at once like you did earlier. So now I have these 2 pieces with red and yellow and these 2 pieces with red and yellow. They're in the right spot, but they just need to be flipped with their color. So I'm just going to do R, F prime, U, R prime, F. And now I'm going to insert the pieces. And I notice that this set is full. I'm just going to flip it around and now just insert it how I normally do. So I got 3 pieces to go. So now I'm going to, let's do this one. So I'm going to do this piece with blue and orange. I'm gonna do these 3 pieces. This piece is not in the, this piece just needs to be flipped because it doesn't have the right color. This piece needs to be flipped as well because it does not have the right color. So I'm gonna do R, F prime, U, R prime, F, and fix the centers. So now I'm going to I'm gonna move this edge piece into this spot and just insert it like I normally would, replacing a broken pair if I have 3 left. So now so you might still have 3 left sometimes. Just try to just fix the pairs if you can. So now I'm just gonna, I'm gonna pick like one that's like close to being completed, like this one. So I have blue and yellow right here, just like right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I need to find the last edge piece. The last edge piece is right here. So now, and if I notice, if I move it over, it's flipped and it's not in the right spot. So I'm going to do, and also, I forgot to mention, also put it, like, the pair, like, of, like, this set of pieces, like, onto a side that does not have, like, a full set of 4 edge pieces. Like, this set has 3 completed because I have these, because these are not right. I actually forgot to mention that. Please check that before filling in any edge pieces. So now I notice, like, I have it facing, like, a set of edge pieces that are not completed. So now I need to flip this piece around. I'm going to do R, F prime, U, R prime, F. I'm going to now insert the piece, but I need to check where there's a non-completed side, and it's right here. So I'm going to insert the piece, replace it with a full broken pair, the completed pair if you have 3 right. I'm going to move it over, and there's this broken pair down. Okay, now I have just 2 pairs left. And now, you said, I noticed on the 5x5, you actually don't want to, like, match the pieces like this. Because they'll still get ruined. The pieces will still get ruined. So what you want to do instead is kind of make a little checker pattern. So you want to make the outer 2 pieces match and the inner 2 pieces match. So, what I'm going to do is, like, I need to flip this piece around with this one, only because I need to try to make a little checker pattern. That's kind of how you do it. So you need to have, like, these outer 2 pieces match, like, because you can, like, you have to get edge parity next. And what you do is just kind of, what you do is just, I'd suggest just trying to just figure it out. I mean, edge parity, you want to try to get, like, 2 of the outer edges correct and 2 of the inner edges correct, like these 2 pieces. So I notice that if I move this together, all the pieces are correct. So what I'm going to do is actually flip this piece around with R, F prime, U, R prime, F. And now I'm going to insert this edge piece. Just kind of insert the piece. I'm going to insert this piece and do R, F prime, U, R prime, F. Just kind of mess around with it. This might take some trial and error to figure it out. Like, I just messed up there. Just kind of mess around with it. This will just take some trial and error. Just try to figure out how, like, to get these pieces properly in. We just fix this again. So, like, now I have parity. Like, this is what you want. Like, this might take some trial and error to try to figure it out. It might be a little confusing, but I suggest watching my 5x5 tutorial on this if you're confused. Like, if you're confused on this, just go check out my 5x5 tutorial. So now, you might either have a double parity or a single parity. So if you have a single parity, it means you have one of these, like one of these set of pieces. If you have 2 of them, just make sure you have one of them on the bottom. If you just have one of them, have it facing in front of you, kind of like this, and do the algorithm. And every R and left L move is actually, R and L move is going to move these 2 layers. Because you want to keep these 2 middle pieces alone. So you want to do R2, B2, U2, L, U2, R prime, U2, R, U2, F2, R, F2, L prime, B2, R2. And now you notice you have all your edges done on the 6x6. If this ever seemed confusing to you, go back to my 5x5 tutorial. I'll be posting that soon. And hopefully you guys enjoyed part 2 of this tutorial. So if you guys want to see part 3 will be coming soon, and it'll just be finishing up 3x3 stage. So, and then, yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!